Hey 7th graders, this is just a quick tutorial on how to look at synonyms and antonyms in a sentence and use them to help you identify the words. And then you can also do the reverse of that to try and figure out, right, if you have the definition, what are the synonyms and antonyms. So I'm going to just be reading off some sentences here. You can see them on your screen that are probably right next to my head. So just follow along with me, and remember, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. Myself or Mrs. Camrad, if she's in the room, will be around to help you. So the first sentence, Tim said, "I'm starving." He was famished because he had not eaten all day. So I'm looking here, I'm trying to identify the word famished. It's underlined, right? And so it says he was famished because he had not eaten all day. So I'm thinking famished must mean that you've not eaten all day, right? And he's starving, he must be hungry, because starving is the antonym of famished, right? I'm starving, he was famished because he had not eaten all day. So I'm thinking that starving must be the antonym, and famished definition must be that he is hungry or is synonym. And so that's kind of how I would use the words, synonyms, antonyms, and the other kind of context clues to help me define that word. Number 2, my dog is so overweight that he is obese. He has not been thin since he was a puppy. So he has not been thin. So I'm thinking my dog is so overweight that he is not thin. So obese must be, that doesn't make a ton of sense. So I'm wondering if obese must be overweight, right, as well. But it's so overweight. So I'm going to guess that it's extremely overweight. So my dog is so overweight that he is extremely overweight. Sounds kind of redundant, like we're using the word too much, but I'm going to guess that obese means extremely overweight. So I know overweight is a synonym, and thin, right, he has not been thin, must be its antonym. So I would write that down for my synonym and antonym. So that's one way I would do it. Number 3, be careful driving when the road is wet and hazardous. It is only safe when it is dry. So you're safe when it's dry, right? Dry is the opposite of wet. So be careful when driving when the road is not dry and hazardous, right? So I'm thinking, right, if it's safe when it's dry, it must be unsafe when it's wet. So I'm going to try that out. So be careful driving when the road is wet and unsafe or dangerous. So I'm going to guess that hazardous has a synonym of dangerous or unsafe. Antonyms would be safe, right? And so I would plug that in now to my graphic organizer, and I would check it with the teacher or the board, whichever one your instructions say. Remember, any questions, raise your hand.